Hey guys, Feuerrm here, and today I'm going to be testing the Porsche 918 in multiplayer in Asphalt 9. Now I've tested this car a couple times before, but this time it is completely maxed with all upgrades and import parts applied, which brings us to a rank of 4,099. People have been asking me to test cars in the secondary season, so I am testing this car in its own Unleashed season in Elite League. Now, testing a car in its own season is a good and a bad thing at the same time. The good thing is there are a lot of other very skilled players that you play against, and in this video you will probably recognize a lot of the people I play against, or at least a lot of their clubs. So I had some very good competition from other maxed 918s. Unfortunately, it's pretty much only other 918s, which does make sense because this is the best car in the season, and those that could compete against it, such as the P1, were in the Master League, which hardly anybody managed to get to, because that was at 1750 rating. And this was not a rush series, so people were going up and down in rating quite a lot. However, I think that even with all these 918s, it still makes for a very interesting video because everybody has the same car pretty much, and it is just skill that makes the difference, and I think that's pretty cool. So we come in first, beating Pro Chaos Joe, as well as another 918 and a Lamborghini Asterion, who I kinda felt a bit sorry for. Now for our next race, which is against 3 Pro Team members on one of the Shanghai tracks. So ever since I got the Porsche 918 when it was first released, I've always really liked it. It's always been one of my favorite cars in the game to drive. I know the Hot Dog 1 likes it as well. It has very good acceleration, very good nitro efficiency. Its top speed isn't the greatest for Class A, and its handling is not the greatest either, but overall, I find it to be a fun car to drive. It is not the king of Class A, however. The Feuerrm has just generally better top speed and nitro efficiency, allowing it to beat this car on most tracks, even though this car does have better acceleration. However, I would still consider the 918 to be one of the top 5 best cars in Class A in Asphalt 9, so if you've managed to start up, it's definitely worth your while, and it will help you a lot. Unfortunately, you cannot use it anymore in the A-Class Elite event, which is something I was kind of bummed out about, especially since I've been able to max it, and my Feuerrm is still at 1 star. I really hope that since the Porsche 918 and Feuerrm came out together at first, that they will come out together again, because then I'd be able to star up the Feuerrm soon, which I really want to. Unfortunately, I bumped the wall a bit too hard there, allowing this guy to pass me, and so I come in second, but not by too much. And thankfully, I still go up 12. This season is not a rush season, as I said earlier, but it's a bit interesting and slightly different than some previous non-rush seasons. You see, before, they did have the rating loss, capped to -20, however, in this season, they also have the rating gain capped to 20. So if you come in first ahead of a bunch of people that are much higher rated than you, you're still only going to go up 20, which is why in a lot of 8-player races, you'll see the top couple go up 20 and the bottom couple go down 20. I'm not entirely sure why they decided to do that, but that is what I have noticed this season. And the season went pretty well for me. I managed to finish at 60th position, unfortunately not being able to get top 50, but top 100 is still pretty good, and I haven't been up this high in a season in a while, since, well, I haven't had a maxed best car in a season in a while. So you guys have probably noticed 2 new sorts of events recently, one being the Egoista Day, sort of like how they did for the Trine Nemesis and VLF and Cadillac Sienna and cars like that. Hopefully that will continue, because I only need like 20 more or so in order to max my Egoista. Unfortunately, I accidentally sold 4 Egoista blueprints a while back thinking they were epic parts, because I was trying to get some trade coins and I didn't need all of those. So that's a bit of a bummer, but I still think I'll be able to max it fairly soon. The other new event is the countdown events, which are counting down to the anniversary of Asphalt 9's worldwide release. July 26th, or in 2 days as I'm recording this. Here we managed to beat Chaos Joe, another Spyder, and an Asterion who came in last. That race's results seem eerily similar to the first race in the video. Go back and see the results at the end of that one and tell me that's not something you see as well. Someone in my comments section has speculated that the Jesco event will probably be coming on the 26th to celebrate Asphalt 9's anniversary. Now, I will neither confirm nor deny that, but I have pinned that comment. All I will say is there's good stuff coming soon, and something that we may have been waiting for a bit of a long time at this point. I guess we'll find out in just a few days. In this race, we are facing 2 other fully maxed 918, so this is all 4,099 ones. One of them is another member of Legions United, and he is the one who is right on my tail, and I guess the other guy is right on his tail. Now, this is one of the more recently added variants of the San Francisco track, and I've never really gotten the hang of the ending here. because at this point I was quite a bit ahead, but then I just started to fall slightly behind, and then he passed me at this point here, and yeah. So if anybody can give me any tips on how to best get through that end section, please do, because I honestly don't know the best way through there. In any case, LU Power. If you are interested in joining, I will put a link to the Facebook page in the description where you can apply. Now for a race on 1000 minarets against 4 other 5-star Porsche 918s, meaning that it will pretty much just come down to skill in this race, and if anybody gets physicsed. If you can have constant shockwave on this route here at the beginning of this race, you can pretty much get through here without too much of a problem. Unfortunately, if you're not in shockwave the whole time, that can be a bit of a problem there too, because then you're pretty much going to get knocked down because everybody is going for that same line through there. That's what happened to that car back there. He hit the back of my car when I was in shockwave and he wasn't, and that's how he got knocked down. I know it's hard to avoid in those cases, but I guess if you're coming up behind a car who is in shockwave and you are not, and you are still faster, don't bump them from behind, because something like that could happen. Although honestly in that case it had more to do with being in the air than anything else. Still though, with Asphalt 9 physics, you never really know what's going to happen. Oh, and speaking of being in the air, I've always thought it was funny that being in the air is actually better in Asphalt 9 than in Asphalt 8, due to being able to use nitro in the air in 9, even though Asphalt 8 is called airborne. I guess, I mean, it makes sense because that was the first time they had ramps, so it was the first time they go airborne, but I just thought that was sort of funny. So we come in first with this VN troll guy right on our tail. I've seen a lot of them in multiplayer this season. Now for a race on one of the Shanghai variants against mainly a member of the elite team, as well as 2 other 918s as well. Now this race sort of serves as a breather before the next one, which is quite intense. As you guys have definitely heard if you've watched any of my most recent videos, I'm making a music video for 24,000 subscribers, and I would just like to give an update that the song itself has been 100% finished for a while now, and the video itself is about halfway done. So don't worry about it coming late or anything after we reach that milestone. I plan to release it at the exact moment I hit 24,000 subscribers, unless of course I'm sleeping or something like that, in which case, well, there's not much I can do about it. In any case, I'm sure you guys are really going to enjoy it. So we have managed to stay in first place here near the very beginning of this race, and around these turns, however, is when they start to catch up a little bit, because I was never the greatest at taking turns in Shanghai, but then in the straights we managed to pull away a little bit again. This is what happens in so many races where everybody is in the same car and is somewhat near equal skill level. At some point, some person will get further ahead, and then another point, the second place person will catch up. Perhaps he gets ahead, then somebody else will get ahead again. And while some of this may just because of driving well or not well, a lot of it is because, well, different people may have close to the same skill level, they may have strengths at different parts of the tracks, which leads to this sort of back and forth. Anyway, we do manage to come in first here, and now for a race on Scotland against, you guessed it, all 918s, as has pretty much been the majority, or pretty much the entirety of this video, I should say, and this one is against a Pro TM member and a Helas member. One of them specifically requested that I put this race in the video, so here you go. And this one really is quite close throughout. In this video, I'm doing 8 races instead of my usual 7, just because I had so many good ones in this season with so much good competition that I figured, hey, longer video, no problem. I may run out of things to say quicker, but at least you guys will get some more races. Multiple people have still been requesting that I make that Lotus Evora multiplayer video. Do not worry, that is coming. However, I am focusing currently on some of the faster cars and some of the more ones that people are quite excited about at the current time. But do not fear, it is still coming. I have no idea why I just did a random accent, but hey, at least we're in second place now and catching up slightly to first place, well, now getting slightly further away and then catching slightly up again. Sort of what I told you earlier. At this point, I nearly managed to pass him. I go up this hill like usual. However, that one guy manages to get more airtime and fly past me. He goes up high in this barrel. I go a bit lower. We all drift around this corner at the same time. We all boost off. I press S to avoid landing on my top, and then I come in third, directly behind these guys. A very, very close race, and one of the closest I've had this season. My heart was definitely pounding at the end of that. And now for another race in which we are facing that same elite team member from earlier, and then this one guy who tried to push us to the side at the beginning, and then he gets pushed to the side by the elite guy. So when testing this car, I have had a lot of fun with it. It's always been one of my favorite cars in the game to drive since I originally got it. While cars like the Huracan and Corvette may still be more fun, there's just something about this one that I really like. Here, I don't know exactly how, but that guy bumped me from behind, and he got knocked down. No, knocked down. That's how it should be. I think the back bumper of my car has some special knockdown ability, because that happened earlier in the video too. Now I will give my general review about this car. It is a great car to drive, and honestly, I would say try to unlock it because of its current Unleashed event. Hopefully you should be able to unlock it, maybe buy a few packs for it, but if you don't have too many tokens, then I would definitely suggest saving for the Jesco. The 918's got great nitro efficiency, great acceleration, top speed, and handling are a bit on the average side though for Class A, but it is mostly a stable car that doesn't tend to bounce around a whole lot, so that's definitely to its advantage. Although that Berserk guy was catching up around that corner, we managed to pull away from him after it and take the victory in this final race. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like the video if you've enjoyed, and consider subscribing for more Asphalt and Forza content and to see that music video sooner, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!